Hi guys, welcome to episode 5 of our survival let's play. Today is going to be a little bit of a grindy episode because these 30 rockets are all we have left. So today we definitely need to tick off a couple of these farms here so we can get the production of fireworks on the way. And that way we can fly around a lot more and be able to get some awesome views of this little village that we're starting to create here. I also want to revamp the bee sanctuary because I just feel like it doesn't fit in with the aesthetic that we've created over here, you know? It just looks a little out of place. So I've been kind of thinking about it, and we'll try to find a way to make this more in line with what's going on over here. But first things first, I want to get a creeper farm started for some gunpowder. The creeper farm is complete, and I spent a little more time just going around because this cave system is a lot bigger than I thought it was. So let's see if we got any gunpowder from just making the farm and running around here a little bit. Okay, 7, that's not bad. That's not bad. I mean, we haven't really been AFKing or anything like that, and I think we'll probably still have to make a platform above the surface to be at the optimal distance. I think you have to be like 100 blocks away or something like that, so I built a lot of layers because I don't really care if it's super productive as long as over time it will produce enough for our needs. Because we really don't need that many rockets, just enough to let us run around wherever we want to be. Although I do want to do some exploring in the world and see what biomes and stuff are next to us, because I haven't really gotten the chance to explore too much other than going to the mesa for some red sandstone. Next up is the sugarcane farm, and I would like to build it close to the melon and pumpkin farm so that they can all kind of be active at the same time. So I'm thinking maybe up here or over here, and we can have a couple buildings around here. We gotta do like a sugarcane farm, maybe a bamboo farm. Just any sort of passive farm we can build in this area here, so that way when we're working around building up our village, they're always going to be active and they can just be passively making us resources. The sugarcane farm is done, but now we need to make it pretty because this pile of dirt isn't exactly the best looking thing ever. This is the color palette I think we're going to be working with. I want it to look a little bit older, a little bit run down, this building that's like in the middle of all of our farms. And I want to practice a little bit more with the gradient, so I want it to look kind of similar to our little tower over there, but just a little bit darker, just, you know, so it looks maybe a little older. Okay, this is about how high we're going to have to make the walls because the roof will compensate for that. But this is looking very blocky, so what I would like to do... Where's the center? Right here. Right here is the center. Is maybe take this face out to give it a little bit more depth. And then we'll do the same on here. So now that I have the general shape ready, I would like to work on the gradient. That gradient looks pretty good to me. Now for the roof shape. I don't want it to go super high. There. That looks good. Now for the side of the roof, I think this is too many blocks for a straight line. We don't want a boring old roof that goes straight across. So what I think I'm going to do is give it a little bend. I finally found a roof shape that I like. I mixed in some regular terracotta in with the copper. So I like the texture that it gives. And I added these little fence gates to give the roof a little bit of a shape. Now for some detailing. I think I'm going to put some composters there just for a little pop. And I want a diagonal door situation. So I think if we do like this and like this, yeah, perfect. I'm just gonna play around with some detailing here. What if we do like this? The details are done, and I actually kind of like the look of the slightly weathered copper, so I think we're going to wax a couple of them in that state. But for the most part, we're going to keep it in the regular copper. I guess I don't really know what it's called. On the inside, I just did very, very minimal decoration. I just kind of covered up the redstone back here. And then I made a little bone meal station. If we get too many sugar cane, we can turn it into bone meal. You can never have too much bone meal. I started on the landscaping for this, but I am going to do something like this where it's a little bit, not overgrown, but just have some vegetation in here. And then it's slowly going to become crop fields. So I built this out here a little bit into a ledge. Let's see if we can get a better look at it from over here. Yeah, I built this ledge around here. We're going to terraform it a little bit more. I just did a really rough outline. And all around here will be some potato fields. I'm going to take some time here and really just get all the landscaping perfect and plant all of these potatoes. So I'll be right back. This little potato field is done, I think. We're just going to leave it like that. I might do a little bit more over here to make it more round. But other than that, I am pretty happy with how this little guy is looking. And now I'd like to do the wheat field. So I already tilled up all the farmland, and I thought it would be fun to just pop in and do a quick little time lapse because I personally think that it's pretty satisfying to watch a whole field of crops grow. As you can see in the time lapse, I waited a little bit for all of our wheat to grow so that it would be nice and satisfying. But now I think I want a little bit of a change of pace. So I'm going to go look at our creeper farm, build up some TNT, and do some netherite mining. Coming in with a voiceover, I was able to get a couple stacks of TNT, so we headed to the nether, and look at this! We found our first pieces of netherite as we were digging our tunnels for the TNT. So that was super exciting. I then went through and continued digging my trenches, placing the TNT every 5 or 6 blocks, and then we lit them all off. If I put them closer together, they would have triggered each other to blow up, and we wouldn't have had to light them all. but I wanted to maximize the explosion damage from our TNT, so after that I went through and mined up all of the netherite scraps that were exposed. And once I had found all of those, I also went through and mined all of our quartz and gold ores. And then I went exploring into the nether a little bit and came across this bastion, but it scared me, and so I wasn't ready to raid it. I took a screenshot of the coordinates and flew home. Back at home, we smelted up our netherite and ended up with 13 netherite scraps, which we then made into 4 netherite ingots. Sorry, 3 netherite ingots. And at the end of the day, I just decided to upgrade my picks, and we'll save the last ingot for something else. I think it is now safe to take down this temporary sugarcane farm. And we can now mark off this one, and this one. Well, I mean, I guess we don't have all of our gear in netherite, but we're getting there. For the last project of this episode, I'd like to do some landscaping, because I really like the way that these 2 cliffs turned out. And we need a little bit more room down here for our village. So I'm thinking of taking something along the line and making it look like this. That's better. Now we have tons of room to work down here for our village, which is where we are going to pick up on next episode. But until then, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!